Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nine and Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. It's been a whole lot going on. And the fact that people want Black people to be out there for them is just crazy. I don't know how some people really thought that white people were going to save them or trying to support white people would kind of save them. But man, I think you people did yourself dirty because the result is also showing, and it is not good on you people's side. I don't know the need why they feel like they can always attack black people any point at any time they get just because they can or just because I don't know why, but it is not giving anymore. It's kind of stressing. Because I am not seeing you people call other community, but black people are always the one to blame for your problems. It's crazy that they are blaming black people too for not wanting to come out. I have never seen a thing like this where people make mistake and expect other people to take accountability for their own mistake. It's giving crazy actually. Let's get into this video.
To what? America is back to what? Cruelty? Is that your favorite time in history? Which one was it? Is it when we came here and we stole all the land from the Native Americans and Mexicans and slaughtered them all and raped their women? Or when we brought black people here from Africa and enslaved them and ripped them apart from their families and also raped their women? Or when we had 8 and 9-year-olds working in factories losing fingers and limbs because there was zero workplace rights because people actually had to fight for those? Or when we had 14-hour work days 6 days a week to make $3 because, again, we didn't have workplace rights. In fact, I would argue with you that the only thing that makes this country great is people that stand together against cruelty for the rights of others and themselves. But your statement here is incorrect because America is not back. America is going backwards. And that's a big difference. I need you to name one country that has gone socially backwards but has progressed in an international world market. There is not one. Because progressive countries do better because they rely on the intellectualism of everybody in that country to contribute to the knowledge that advances countries further. But we don't want to use knowledge right now. We're very anti-intellectual in this country, which means that we are actually going backwards as we put tax-paying people in jail so that there's less taxes being collected, which is pretty fucking bold considering how in debt we are and considering the fact that this administration wants to put us another $4 trillion into debt. You would think that you would want people that were paying taxes to keep working and paying taxes. Saying that America is back is incorrect because America has never been this economically defunct and isolated. We are poor and alone. We've never actually been that before. We're just going backwards. Oh, but hey, the consolation prize is that you guys can come on a platform and be fucking ugly in public. Is that's what you want? Well, guess what? That has a cost too. People don't want to come to this country. Not only is it not safe, but we also have more poop in our water thanks to dismantling the EPA, and they're totally destroying all of our national parks, which makes this country beautiful to visit. Honestly, without those things, who the fuck wants to come here? You think people want to pay to come here and watch a bunch of fat white men being racist? The only age that they're trying to bring us back to is the Gilded Age. And I realize that you've probably never opened a book in your life, but you should probably look it up, motherfucker, because it's going to affect you too. And what pisses me off the most is that I have to fucking fight for this country, which means that I have to fight for assholes like you. Because if it was up to me, I would divide this country in half and let you guys get exactly what you fucking voted for. Fucking ignorant, stupid motherfuckers coming on here being so fucking proud of your own goddamn ignorance. Oh, America's backwards, bitch. Since one was going backwards, a fucking flex.
Por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. La buena vida, por Trump. La economía, por Trump. Hazlo por tu familia, latinos por Donald Trump. Ay, 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 ay.
Seriously, what did you expect? What did you expect? What did you expect? 2016, the man said what he said about Latinos. since 2016. I'm sorry, you guys. Whiteness is not something to aspire to. So you eleva rasa people. This is not something you need to try and get with. You know, the irony is the propping up of whiteness, right, that you were clamoring so desperately to support, is causing the thing. The irony, the clamoring for whiteness that you're so desperate to support is causing the thing that you're so upset with Trump about. Trump was about reburnishing, reinvigorating whiteness. And to do that, it necessitates the destruction and the taking down a peg, perceptionally, of non-whites. And they're targeting Latinos. So go figure. A lot of you Latinos like to check white on your census. You think that you're white. You want to be white so much. But this is an unmistakable message. Destructive, violent message that you are not white and you never will be considered such. So the irony of you voting for whiteness, elevada raza, and all of that shit. Hope you get the message. You never will be considered white. You are not white. That song I led in with, I have to say, as a music guy, has very high production value. The levels, the recording is very well done. Maybe you should listen to it and reminisce for nostalgic good times. People never freaking learn.
Hey guys, quick observation. This is going out to the people who are rooting on Trump invoking martial law. The ones that are rooting on Trump becoming a dictator. One of the things that happens when they invoke martial law is, if I'm not mistaken, when they dispatch the military onto the public, they go around and collect guns. They go around and collect your pew-pews. And if you would go look at the setup of every authoritarian country, the country that are ran by dictatorship, not one of those countries do the citizens own pew-pews. The citizens do not own pew-pews in North Korea. The citizens do not own pew-pews in China. And they definitely do not own pew-pews in Russia. So, I just want to know if a certain group, MAGA, has thought about that. Because I've heard so many, reports coming in and so many people saying, you can take my gun out of my cold hand, or pry my gun out of my cold hand, or something like that before they give up their guns. Well, you better get ready, because when the one that's in the office now gets his ultimate dream and invokes martial law, the first thing they're going to do is send people out to collect the pew-pews. Because think about it, he can't have y'all running around here armed. Not especially after he becomes a dictator. Dictators don't have their citizens with guns. Dictators don't have countries where the pew-pews are flowing freely. But I don't think somebody thought about that. I don't think somebody considered that. I think they were looking at certain aspects of it and getting off on it, and they were looking at certain aspects of it and cheering it on. But once again, you did not examine the whole entirety of what a dictatorship really is, because you're only thinking about the people that it's going to hurt, or so you think. You're not thinking about yourselves, because you're in this country as well, and you're going to be held up under the same requirements as everybody else up under a dictatorship. And dictatorships do not give their citizens pew-pews. So keep cheering and keep rooting it on, because when they start charging your doors and asking for those AR-15s and all those other rifles and pew-pews, it's gonna be too late then to holler, wait a minute, ain't no wait. Once again, you've been rooting these things on since he's been saying it. Y'all been laughing at him, you've been cheering it on, telling the man that you are all cool with it. And because you have given him the leeway, and like he said, you did sign up for this because you voted for me and I campaigned on everything I'm doing. So don't go to hollering when they start coming for them AR-15s. And we know a certain group of people cannot be as strong and as masculine if they don't have their pew-pews. Because in certain groups of people, the pew-pew makes the man. So I hope y'all done thought about this. And if you haven't thought about it, you need to be considering it now. But I got a feeling it's a little bit too late. Just thought I'd bring that observation out. You know, like I said, not many of y'all think things through. And because they know that about you, they have these little traps laid all around. All these little landmines just going boom, boom. Every time y'all turn around, one blowing up in your face. Boom. Well, here go another. Boom. Because they're coming for your pew-pews. So now celebrate that. Before I get out of here, I got one question to ask. MAGA. After they come for them pew-pews, will it be great again then?
It really didn't have to be this way. We had a choice in this country to vote the right way. Y'all looked at that choice and was just like, no thanks. 47 has deployed the National Guard to Los Angeles. There have been conflicts on Friday and Saturday because ICE has been conducting raids. Now, these raids have been unplanned with the local law enforcement of the LAPD. The LAPD did not know that they were coming, and so they were not prepared for them to carry out these raids. Now, the raids were carried out in an area of Los Angeles that is 80% Latino. This area prides themselves on being deeply, deeply immigrant. So naturally, that's where they decided to conduct these raids. Everybody knows that Trump has been trying very, very hard to enact martial law. He has been trying very hard to turn the military on the people. And he has said this time and time again, where he wanted the National Guard to assist in these ICE raids. Well, after protesters started protesting these raids and tried to stop the kidnapping, because these people are not getting due process. You're supposed to give 30-day notice. That didn't happen. So people started protesting these raids. Well, that gave Taco Bone Spurs all of the ammunition that he needed in order to call 2,000 National Guard members against a couple hundred protesters. And you wonder why black folks ain't out in the street. Now, the governor of a state has the ability to call the National Guard if there is a national emergency. That is something that Trump wanted when the George Floyd protests happened in Minneapolis with Tim Walz. He wanted Tim Walz to call in the National Guard. Tim Walz refused to do that because it would escalate the situation. And that's exactly what Trump wants in this case. Gavin Newsom has already said, we are not lacking in law enforcement. We are not lacking in control. But what is happening is that Trump is sending ICE in unannounced and chaotically, brutally kidnapping people off the street. And when there is a reaction to it, that gives him carte blanche to enact his plan of sending military troops in that area. That's what he wants. He wants the escalation. He wants to be able to flex his power over the citizens of the United States by sending our own military against us. Let us be clear. That is exactly what he wants, which is why black folks have not been out into the street. Now, granted, The National Guard has been sent out before. In 1967, during the Detroit riots, the National Guard was sent in to keep the peace. The National Guard was also used after MLK's unaliving in 1968, and the National Guard was used during the 1970s Postal Service strike. And in 1992, George H.W. Bush also sent the National Guard to Los Angeles after there were protests that broke out when a YT officer was acquitted for brutalizing a black motorist. So the National Guard is there now. They arrived early today, which is Sunday morning, and they're unloading munitions and weapons and all of this other stuff to use on protesters. I really hope they remember their oath. Gavin Newsom quoted something his wife had said in a letter, which she basically said, weaponizing protests to justify federal crackdowns is a dangerous precedent. Cory Booker came out and said that this breaks with generations of tradition. What a situation like this is exposing about the United States is that we actually didn't have a true system of checks and balances. We actually didn't have any safeguards for if we had an authoritarian leader. Our system was based on faith. It was based on the honor system. Our system here in the United States depended on people, corruptible people, to do the right thing. And we're finding out right now how easily dismantled our so-called checks and balances are. Because even though we are a system of laws, if the people making the laws are corrupt, if the people carrying out the laws are corrupt, if the people who are supposed to be upholding the laws are corrupt, if the people who are supposed to be putting a check on the power of the presidency, Congress, I'm looking at you, if they are too corrupt, then we have no system of checks and balances. It depended on the people of the United States. And the people of the United States have shown throughout the entirety of the history of the United States that when they came over here on the Mayflower, they didn't bring their best.
I know that a lot of black people will probably be on my neck for making this video, but I have to. This video was for every Latino in America. I am so sorry for what's happening to you. I am so sorry for your families being torn apart. I am so sorry for the evil that you're having to endure right now. Now, I know that a lot of people are laughing in your faces saying, I told you so, because a lot of Latinos did support Trump. And also, a lot of Latinos are anti-black. I personally experienced it myself when I was living in Miami. I had Latino women be evil towards me, and men be evil towards me. I even was staying in a very, very nice luxury apartment. And when I lost my key at the beach, when I got back home, a Latino security guard refused to let me into my building until I verified that I lived there with the lease that was not on me because I had just came back from the beach. Why would I have my lease? I had lost my keys and everything at the beach. This Latin man made it so hard for me to get into my building because I was black, living in a neighborhood full of Venezuelan people in a luxury apartment. And I experienced blatant racism from him. But I will say, on the other side, during that same time, I experienced Cuban families who welcomed my son to their birthday party celebrations, because at the time it was just me and my son, and he was little, and my son's birthday came up while we were there. I didn't have a lot of extra money, and we didn't even know nobody. So it was a really nice Cuban family that allowed my son to come and celebrate his birthday with one of their children that was also celebrating their birthday at that time. There was also another time where there was a Cuban man who was outside cooking with his family, and my son and I were just outside chilling, and he invited us to come and eat with them. And we broke bread together, and the food was delicious, and we just had a good time talking and getting to know each other. So I say this to say that I am no stranger to, I'm sorry, I just was chewing on something. That's why I'm checking my lips. But I am no stranger to hate as a black woman from Latino people. But I am also no stranger to love, to receiving love as a black woman from Latino people. I do not condone what is happening. I feel like everything that's happening with Latino people in America is 100% uncalled for. 100% uncalled for. I believe this is another attempt for these wicked people to spew their hatred on people, and they're weak, so they like to go after weak people. And I'm not saying Latinos are weak, but I'm saying your position.
This is all I got from this video. The story isn't kind of changing because, like, from protesting to involving National Guard, I don't know what will happen next. And this protest might also circulate to other states. Like the other brother said about how these people are trying so hard to make other people, like, suffer. One thing I'm going to say is that it is only people that do not know their history that will make mistakes. Why did I say this? I said this because I feel like Latinos do not understand their history. Hispanics, they do not understand what they have been through, what happened to them, and how they have been keeping up, and who also helped them. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if only they are grateful. Do you know what it means to give 500,000 people, like, citizenship to stay back in United States, which they also have messed up because that has also been revoked, right? So what stopped? I don't understand because, like, the people they try to be close to also are not allowing them to be close to them. Like the sister said, even if you are Latino or Hispanic, like, no matter how wide you are, and your name is still Gomez, Santos, you are still, they will know. Like, there is no how you try to, look so wide that they would know. They know you are not. And they will also treat you that you are not a white person. That is how bad it is. No matter how you try to fit in, you cannot fit in because you are not their standard. That is not the standard. They have their own standard. Tell me how you are going to align with people that do not even care about you. This is something that I've been I don't know. I don't want to break my head anymore. Something that I've been asking myself. Someone that has told you that, that they do not care. I saw a video a woman was made. She was like, there are two kind of Latinos or, like, Hispanics in United States. The ones that have been here for decades, right? And the ones that have been also, like, that crossed over 5 years ago or something like that. So someone has been, like, they've been in United States for decades, trying to also get their papers. It's not like these people are, like, illegal. They are not illegal. They are the ones building majority of these houses and all that. Though it is paid labor, right? So they are not even seeing the fact that you are contributing to their economy, to their GDP. You are not homeless. You have something doing. You also pay your tax. So what stopped them from also taking you in as the white people they are, to also make you feel welcome? That is to tell you that no matter how hard you try, they will never ever want you in their space. This is something you need to understand. I don't know why it is hard for some people to understand that there are some places where you can eat, there are some places where you cannot eat. Some people want to actually dine with you, some people also do not want to dine with you. So why not know where you want to be dined, like, where people want to dine with you and where people do not want to dine with you? Why is that hard? Now they are tagging them a riot, like they're a riot. That is, see, not until you trace your root back, you see all these things going on. If you are not careful, it definitely will happen again. Some people are almost very close to getting their citizenship and all that, and they will be deported. And I don't know how you people, like, did you people not think about your brothers and sisters that were not legalized, that are not documented? Did you people not put them first? Because black people, like, it's crazy. Black people put everybody first. Black people knew that you people are struggling. And this man's Project 2025 says mass deportation. They saw this. They tried so hard to keep everybody intact, to keep everybody in check. But you all said, don't check us. We have better things to do. So how can we sort this problem out? Signing out. Bye for now.